And we're rolling on with our preseason look at the top 20 drivers from the NASCAR Illustrated Season Preview Edition. My name is Bassmaster. Sitting with the Sporting News' Matt Crossman, talking Matt Kenseth today. Number 10 on the countdown, and for some reason I'm feeling like 10th. That's just perfect for Matt Kenseth. Just quiet, steady Eddie, Mr. Consistency, not a big winner. Let's make him 10th.
That, you know, you never know where he's going to finish because you never hear from him. You know,
right.
He doesn't do. He's very soft-spoken and very not there, I guess is the best way to put it. That you know, he could win the race or he could finish 10th, and you'd hear about the same thing out of him.
Now, he is pretty good at getting finishes.
Yes.
Maybe not picking up the wins, but getting finishes. That obviously helps you a lot in today's NASCAR and the point system that we have. Where do you rate him driver-wise on the scale? We don't think of him as a super talented guy, but he is a NASCAR champion.
He is, and I would say, you know, in the 6th to 10th is probably where I'd put him. I mean, you wouldn't put him in Kyle Busch or Tony Stewart's category, but you wouldn't, you know, put him back there with David Stremme either. You know, that he's I would say good but not great, which is, you know, I would say sums up his entire career. Now,
at the end of the year last year, we saw the Roush Fenway cars get a little faster. Matt had a decent finish to the chase. I think he ended up 5th in the points. How would you compare him to his teammates? Can he outrun his teammates if they have the same equipment? And Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle are also two very talented guys.
Yeah, if all things are equal and it's Matt Kenseth versus Carl Edwards, I would take Carl Edwards. Kenseth versus Biffle, I would say, is more of a wash. But the thing with Matt is he's not going to screw up a good day as, you know, Greg or Carl might try to overdrive. But, you know, over 36 races, I would take definitely Carl, and Greg, I would probably be a wash.
Talk about the crew chief situation over there, because Matt went through a couple guys last year. Does that feel settled to you now?
Assuming he starts with Jimmy Fennig, as they're saying he's going to, and Jimmy Fennig stays on his pit box, I think he'll be fine. I think if he could go back and unmake that decision with Robbie Reiser, however many years ago that was now, he would. I mean, he's just been through.
That was a great pair.
It was, and I mean, you understand when guys get burned out, which, you know, is probably what happened with Robbie, and that he needed to stop doing what he was doing. But certainly the consistency with Matt and the sort of steady Eddie thing has been gone a little bit since he lost Robbie.
So as far as Matt Kenseth, where he finishes, is he a lock to make the chase in your mind just because of the consistency?
Yeah, just because he's you know, never too high and never too low. Although I'm a little worried about the Roush cars. 2 years in a row now, they've sort of in the offseason, they've said, you know what, we had either bad math or we made a bad decision somewhere along the way. They said that going into last year, and now they're saying it coming out of last year. If they didn't make the right decisions this offseason and they have to struggle again, you have to start wondering, what are they doing over there?
You know, it's interesting you say that, because I feel like, yes, Carl Edwards did win 2 races at the end of the year. Greg Biffle won a couple races at the end of the year. They were clearly faster at the end of last year. But I'm not sure I saw enough to feel like they're definitely on the right track. I mean, that's the sense I was getting from you.
Yeah, they won and everything, and that's great, but you didn't go into Sunday thinking, oh, you got to watch out for those Roush cars.
Right.
It's been 3 or 4 years since that big year Carl had when he won the 8 or the 9 races and, you know, finished second to Jimmy, that you've really had to worry about them. But, you know, if they get that mojo back, you know, Matt could contend.
Feels like this is a downforce team.
Oh,
I mean, they certainly has been in the past. Is that because the Carl Edwards and the Matt Kenseth and the Greg Biffles are downforce drivers, or is that just where the team excels as far as preparing the equipment?
I think it's the equipment first, because you can't excel at a track without good equipment.
Right.
But then also, you know, Biffle and Edwards and Kenseth too have, you know, adapted to that they have, you know, sort of realized that that's where their cars are good, so that's what they've become good at as well.
Now, qualifying, Matt Kenseth, you never think of him as a great qualifier.
No, you don't.
Is that really a big problem for him? I mean, we see guys drive through the field. These are long races.
Yeah, if the races were shorter, if this was the I almost said Busch Series. If this was the Nationwide Series, it's been years. If this was the Nationwide Series where the races are a lot shorter, sure, but the races are 500 miles long. They take forever.
If you've got a good car and you're a good driver, you can make your way up to the front.
Absolutely.
Even on a track that's tough to pass on.
Exactly. So, you know, Kenseth has proven year after year that you know, you can qualify bad and still have a good season.
All right, Matt Kenseth, pretty good at getting the most out of his race car. He's rated number 10 on the NASCAR Illustrated Season Preview. Don't forget to pick it up.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.